So when you first land an admin, you will land on the general tab. We by default provide you with this assembly logo, but on a paid plan, you can choose your company logo and that will appear up here. And then you can customize the name of your currency at any time. If you want to change it at any time, you can do that. So you can pick from our emojis. You can call it whatever you'd like. This is just to verify what it looks like plural. Inviting people permissions. I'll show you the different ways to invite people. By default, only admins can invite people directly to the platform. But if you want to enable managers or other people, individual contributors on the team to invite other people to the platform, you can change this to everyone. And then if you want people to have to go through a request process to invite people, just enable this. So anybody who's not an admin will have to request to add somebody to the platform. It's a good safety net for your platform if you're, we charge per seat, or if you don't want random people joining the platform. So this is a good safeguard to allowing people to add people to the platform, but making sure that admins have eyes on it before the people join the platform. So my recommendation would be set this to everyone and then enable admin approval for invites. And I'll show you what this looks like in a second. And then click save. Really quick, joining this assembly, allowing anyone from a whitelisted domain below with the invite URL to join just means that if you want to blast out a link to people within your company, you can whitelist your company domain. So if we said joinassembly.com is the one we want to whitelist, anybody who has a joinassembly.com email can join this platform without manually being invited or being invited through your HRIS platform. So just an explanation on what that means. So you can add multiple domains to this. So if your company has contractors and any contractor from an external domain, you want them to be able to join, you can just send them the link, whitelist their domain, and they can join without needing an invite or without needing approval. Let's get into how you add people to the platform. So what you're seeing here is we're a new version of this page that will be launching likely sometime this week or early next week. So I'm going to demo this to you using this because moving forward, this is what it's going to look like for you all. So we have this active tab that shows you the count of everybody in the platform, which we have the active queued requests and pending section. So nothing's going to change here. But what we are enabling you to see is if anybody's been deactivated from the platform, this will show you who's been deactivated. Again, this is a work in progress, but it'll show you the date that they've been deactivated and how they were deactivated, whether it's an individual person that deactivated them or whether they were deactivated through your HRIS. And kind of taking a step back for a second, if you use an identity provider, we provide you Slack, Office 365, and G Suite for free. You don't have to have a paid account to set these up. What these identity providers are is a way for you to automatically manage who joins and leaves your assembly. And so instead of manually inviting, which I'm going to show you how to do after this, you can connect to your HRIS, select, either everybody in the organization or specific groups within the organization that you want to join. And that can be modified at any time that you'd like. And if you are switching from one provider to another, you can disconnect and reconnect to another one here. For those who are not familiar, we offer a very rich suite of HRIS integrations that can suit anybody's needs. This is somewhat recent, but if you don't want to use Slack or Office 365 or Google, we have all of these options here. So you can click these. You'll need some information directly from those platforms, like for security and authentication reasons, but just follow the steps as you select your provider to get you set up. So as far as inviting people to the platform, admins, like I said before, will always have the ability to manually invite people to the platform. So one way to do it is through here. You can manually input the information for each employee. And we have a few required fields like name and email. And then if this person's an admin, if this person's a manager, you can select that here. You can control their default allowance. You can give them custom, like I mentioned before. So If this person is the CEO and you want to give them 10,000 points to give a month, you can give them a custom allowance and enter the value here that you want them to be able to give. So once you click confirm, this will send an email invite to the member, and then they will confirm in their email and join the platform. And when you manually invite people, they show up in this pending section. So I'll show you what it looks like to have somebody in here in just a second, but you can also bulk invite users by uploading a CSV. It's something that people oftentimes do, but most of our members use an HRIS integration to manage their members, because that automatically imports names, emails, departments, job titles, all of these things. So you never have to worry about manually updating any of these things. So another way to invite people. So like I mentioned, we have those permissions in admin. So if you have everyone enabled to invite, someone can come in here. Let's say Katya demo test at joinassembly.com. I'm not seeing that in here. So I can add this person to Assembly just by clicking add teammates. So Katya demo test at joinassembly.com, send. So this person will show up as a pending user. And as soon as that member is invited into the platform, they can be added to any flow. You can give them recognition while you're waiting for them to join the platform. If you give them recognition while they're waiting to join the platform, I can show you what this looks like. So let's do celebrate a teammate, Katya demo test. So this is the user that I just added. And again, if this person's added via admin or added via here, the same behavior applies. So celebrate, showing you some love before you join the platform. You should get an email about this. Let's say initiative, and then we'll just do 1 point for the sake of this. So as you can see, I received, or my demo person received recognition. This person will actually receive an email at the end of every day, summarizing any time that they've been mentioned, summarizing any time that they've been recognized, summarizing any time that they've been mentioned in a comment. All of those will kind of nudge the user into showing them they have activity to remind them to join the platform. I'll show you in a second. Also, you can manually remind people to join the platform, but this is another way that you can invite a person to the platform. One lesser known way that people can be invited to the platform is if I want to create a new flow. Let's just say, let's just start from scratch. So we'll have this be no trigger. We'll just add a demo block, demo flow. And then when I create the flow, by default, I am the only participant and I'm the only viewer of this flow, but I can share this with anybody that I want. So if I want to include a pending member, so I can show you that Katya demo test can be added as a participant. But if I'm like, oh, let me add, Katya Hill, or if Katya was not in the platform, I could go member is Katya H demo test at joinassembly.com. Oops. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this. It should be an email. My bad. Katya H plus demo test. Oh, and I need to write in a valid email. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. So adding another pending user, they will become a participant of this flow as soon as they accept their invite request. So that's kind of a more hidden way to manually invite people. But if you're in the process of trying to add people to a flow and you're like, oh, shoot, this person's not on the platform, just again, email is right in their email, send the invite. And that will only be available to people who have permission to invite directly without admin approval required. So depending on whatever permissions you've configured, that's one option for people as well. For this, I'm just going to archive this. We don't need this anymore. So what I'm going to show you is I invited 2 people to the platform. I'm just going to kind of explain to you what this means in admin. So if we go back to users manage, oh, again, sorry, this is a work in progress. This should say 2. The 2 users that I just added now appear here as pending users. So if they haven't accepted their invite and you want to remind them, you can send a reminder by clicking this, and that will send a reminder email to them to accept their invite. If you don't want them to join the platform anymore, you can click delete. And yeah, and that's basically it for pending. Quick refresher on what queued means. If you have a connection to an HRIS and you want to add a bunch of people to the platform, but you're not ready to go live yet, there's an option when you're setting up the connection to send invites later. And if you send invites later, this will go into the queued state and you can select all here and approve the queued members, and they will receive an email prompting them to set up their Assembly account. So that's what queued mean. Requests, if I were to change my permissions in admin to require admin approval, any person that invites via that left section with the people list, or well, actually just from the left section with the people list, those requests will show up here. Cool. So that's manually inviting people in a nutshell. You can manually invite people if you have an HRIS connection, but and the 2 can coexist. So it's not one or the other. You can do both. Most people will manage, like I said, their invites and their members through an automated HRIS integration, but manual members are treated just the same within Assembly. And then also, if you manually invite somebody, so say you're like just testing out the platform or getting a few people on your team on, and you manually invite them, and then you connect to an HRIS, those people will be merged into the HRIS connection. So you don't have to manually manage those people anymore.